Go ahead and call the Ellis County Commission meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Donna, please note that all three commissioners are present this evening. Any amendments, changes to the agenda? Anyone?
I have one.
Okay.
I would like to add a birthday greeting to our clerk.
Okay.
And ask everyone to start singing happy birthday.
And she's 36 today, so you all
She
know.
is, that's right. Yeah, she's so young. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Donna. Happy birthday to you. And happy 36. I love that. That's all I had for changes.
Okay.
For a change.
Marcy, anything?
No, I don't have.
Hey, prior minutes, Donna sent them out. Has everyone had a chance to review? Yes?
They're fine.
Yes, and yes. Stand approved as presented. We'll ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda, items A through G.
I move we approve the consent agenda, items A through G as presented.
And I will second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Donna. Issues from persons not on the order of business this evening. Do we have anyone? Seeing none, we will move on. We're missing one of our reporters, aren't we? Thanks, Jonathan, for showing up. Domestic
Oh,
violence.
nope, we got number 2.
Oh,
Here she comes.
She missed the birthday greeting. Should we reprise that?
we can start over. Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation. Options Community Service Coordinator Timothy Tankley.
Hello, I am Tim Tarkelly, and I'm the Community Services Coordinator for Options Domestic and Sexual Violence Services here in Hayes. And we have come to formally ask the Ellis County Commission to proclaim October Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Perfect day to do it.
I know.
First day of the month, that doesn't usually
of the
work that
month.
way. So
Anybody have any questions
I
for
think
Timothy?
that sounds like a wonderful idea.
I don't have any questions.
Barb, anything for Timothy?
No.
No?
No, I just wondered if you were going to hand out, didn't you say purple light bulbs to remind people of?
So we have some Ellis County profiles and our new brochures that we can pass around. I would like to formally invite the Ellis County Commission and everyone else present to come to our annual Purple Light Night event, which is this Friday at Big Creek Crossing at 6 p.m. From 7 to 8, we'll have guest speakers, and we'll be lighting a big Christmas tree purple to commemorate Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The event is free. There'll be free food, children's activities, and a whole host of amazing speakers. And we will be selling purple light bulbs at the event.
Okay, well, did you bring some for us to buy?
I did not. I did not have
I think you're
foresight
missing out on a
or
marketing
confidence
trick.
in me than you should, I think. We will be selling purple light bulbs for $2 a piece that you can put in your porch light or your business window or wherever else to show your support for domestic violence survivors in our community.
So do you want them up all month?
Yes, the idea is that they'll be up through the entire month of October.
And how much did you say they were?
$2 a piece. And you
Well,
can.
I
have
happen
them-
to know that I have a neighbor that could get one to me
Sure, she
fairly
will get
easily. She could throw it across the alley at me.
That won't be a problem. And you can also buy them in the meantime, either at the event or at Breathe or at Rejuvenations or Hayes Hair Academy.
Okay.
Great. Well, thank you.
Anything else from
Do
me
we need
before
a motion?
Oh, no,
read it, or?
I think we just need the chair.
we just,
I was
the
just
chair
gonna
to
read
sign
this.
it.
All
Yes.
right.
Okay.
Thank you for being here, all
Thank
of you.
you.
Take two.
Proclamation of the Board of Ellis County Commissioners. Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas family and relationships are often counted among life's greatest gifts, and tragically, many Kansans' relationships are tarnished by violence and fear. And whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity due to the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, economic, and coercive control of abuse, and whereas 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner, and fleeing domestic violence has caused women and children to be the fastest growing homeless population, whereas victims should have help to find compassion, comfort, and healing they need, and domestic abusers should be punished to the full extent of the law, and whereas domestic violence is inconsistent with the values of our community and will not be excused or tolerated. Now therefore the Board of County Commissioners does hereby proclaim October 2018 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Ellis County, and encourage all citizens to speak out against domestic violence, to provide support for survivors for these crimes, to encourage community leaders to hold perpetrators accountable, and to make domestic violence prevention efforts a priority by hosting events, by creating policies at school and work, and by working with our local domestic violence victim service providers. Dated this first day of October 2018. Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you all for coming also this evening. We will move on to extension report. Susan?
Susan Schlichting, Cottonwood Extension District 4-H Youth Development. You have in front of you kind of a picture story of some of the things that have been going on in the last couple of months since I was last here to report. Of course, the Kansas State Fair is always a big deal. We had a lot of 4-Hers that participated in various contests and events throughout the week of the fair, and had lots of personal bests there to share, and I won't share them all because I don't want to miss somebody, but I do want to acknowledge that Opal Flynn was recognized for 50 years as encampment worker at the State Fair, and that's a goal that she's held for a very long time, and has gone back every year to help invite and welcome families to the fairgrounds and to stay there at the fair. It was quite a neat thing to watch her with her celebration. So if you see her, shout out to Opal. We also had the Kansas 4-H livestock sweepstakes. We sent a team in from the Cottonwood district, so it was a combination of Ellis and Barton kids that went in and competed. We had 10 that competed, and they did quite well. There's several of our younger livestock judges that are really sharp with it, and I think down the road we'll see some strong champions coming out of that event if they stick with that program. They had a great time working together, learning together, and we look forward to seeing what they can do in the future. We also have several upcoming events. Next week is National 4-H Week, and so your picture in the middle of the page is the group of kids who went down to the Hayes Arts Council Annex and down to Tri-Central and put window displays up. We do a coloring contest with second graders across Ellis County in preparation for 4-H Week, and this team of kids gets to vote on the winners. So that's one of the fun things they get to do in their job, and those winners get a special little coloring prize. So it's a way to get the word out about 4-H, but also to show some of the really fun things like computer science and health-related things, and rocketry and sewing and fashion and nutrition and camp and county fair and all those kinds of things that we do through coloring contests. So go check them out. They're in the windows at Tri-Central and at the Annex until the middle of October. We also, at the end of 4-H Week, will be hosting what Kansas calls the 48 Hours of 4-H Service, where 4-Hers from across the state are encouraged to do a service project during that time. And most of our clubs take part in Trick or Treat so others can eat during that week of 4-H Week. So they are getting involved in helping with service, and then they log that information back to the state so we can show the kind of impact that 4-H can have statewide with service that they do. We also have our 4-H Achievement Banquet coming up on the 27th of October, and hopefully you can join us for that event. We'll be out at the fairgrounds celebrating the awards and the successes of our 4-Hers and the leaders that guide them. We also had Family Pizza Day. The Family Consumer Science Program Committee and that group that Linda typically had worked with until she retired every September, the last Monday in September, is Family Day, and they encourage families to sit down and eat a meal together. It doesn't happen in a lot of households every day, so trying to encourage families to take that time together. And So the committee worked with a number of sponsors here in the community to go out and get the crusts and the ingredients. And this year, a new twist was the Hayes High Helping Hands, which Michelle Thacker is the leader for that group. That team of teenagers actually organized and got all the ingredients. They went shopping, they got everything prepped, and they were there and they manned all the stations, which to me is a fabulous thing where the teens are learning in classroom about all of these things, but then they actually got to apply all of that to running an event. And they did a fabulous job. It was their first time doing it, so they were all a little nervous about it, but they did a great job, and it really was a nice partnership, and hopefully we can continue that in the future. We also, just a quick 601 Main update. They've been working fast and furious the last few days, and today was no exception. There's lots of drilling and painting and caulking and things going on. You can see a few pictures of kind of the progress that's in place, and we're looking forward to moving back into our spaces and getting life back into a kind of a normal mode again. It's been several months, so we're ready to have normal in life, but it's looking really sharp what's been done. So, any questions?
Like you've been busy as always, doing a good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we're grateful that all of you have been so patient with all the noise and
It's all worked out.
disruption. So we appreciate your help with that.
Well, we're excited to have the space and to be able to maybe bring some new services and new opportunities into the community with that space. So
Good.
thank you very much for that opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Next item is flu shots. Carrie.
Barry McHugh, Ellis County Health Services Director. And first of all, I need to apologize for my attire. I just got
You
back
should
from being out of town for several days, and I came right here, so my apologies. I am going to switch number 7 and 8 around real quickly. Mary just got here, as you may have seen. She was tied up at the clinic and just got away, so she's going to take a couple minutes and set them things up. The next item is I'm going to ask you to sign a document that talks about the depreciation of the property at 2507 Canterbury and the value of that. Basically, I've been working, as you may remember, with KDHE and the WIC program to get some reimbursement for the remodeling that we have done there. We were authorized, we got a letter September 18th that said we were authorized up to $146,689.
Wow.
I do have a document that shows the total costs that we've put into that building, but that document does include purchase of the building and all that. And so I'm not sure. I think we'll be close. We might be a little underneath that final number, but that is an up to number, that 146. So
Wonderful.
I know there's a final payment included in the next voucher run that will be included in that, and then I'll be submitting this document and everything to them. But you do have a copy of the letter. I will tell you that looking at it this afternoon in the airport in Denver, I noticed that Mr. Thomason's name had a typo in it, but I sent a corrected copy to Donna, and I think she gave that to Dean to send to
good.
sign. So
Good.
with that, I would ask for you to sign the document.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Taken care of.
All right.
Okay. Mary's ready. I see your
Okay.
head nodding.
So you need to give yourself a little plug here, what we're doing, what you're doing.
As per your request, that, and quite frankly, I forgot that we had done this last year until you mentioned it. Last year, we brought Mary in to do shots, flu vaccines for the commission and anybody that's present that wants them. And we're going to do that again tonight. We do have 3 different types. We have the regular, we have the flu block, which is designed for
I got mine on Monday, last
You
Monday.
can have mine.
those of us that are up to 64, and then the high dose for anyone above 65. So They are available, and if you would like to get your flu vaccine, Mary's here to do that for you.
All right,
Go ahead.
My suggestions would be
I
to
got
do
mine.
that.
Yes, I got mine this past Monday. Because I didn't know if you were going to be able to do this or not, so.
And I think today is the official start of flu season, as I understand it. And so you have some upcoming
just gonna
clinics you might
throw
want
caution to the
to
wind.
mention while we're back here getting our.
We
Needles don't get
do
along
have
very
lots
good.
of clinics that
I
are
was wondering.
scheduled.
I was in the hospital 2 weeks ago. They had to stick me 6 times.
And for the public that's viewing,
I'm not.
Is that for your foot?
No,
What'd you go in the hospital?
I have to tell you later.
Mr. Chair, just so you know, we
Yes.
do have lots of clinics that are scheduled throughout the community.
Uh-huh.
We do have 3 clinics coming up that will address county employees. This one, this building, Public Works, and the courthouse will all get visits from our staff to do
Excellent.
internal staff.
Michael, do you want one?
And then we have set up several clinics outside. I
Got
would,
mine.
since we're on the air, I would tell the public that if you want a clinic set up for your business, we will come out and do it in your business. We do have several that have asked us to do that. So anyway, thank you.
Hey, thanks for being here with that.
Well.
We'll just hang on and wait.
We'll move on to county council reports. Anything? None?
You're not going to make any money for your office tonight, are you? We're going to tell on you. I'm sure they will. They'll just jump right to that one.
County administrator report?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. County Administrator Philip Smith Haynes. I have one item for this evening, and that is, as the commission is aware, the property surrounding the Hayes Public Library is actually county property, and so when they do stuff, they tell us. We like them to tell us when they're doing stuff. So
That's on our property?
they are considering the possibility of putting up an electronic sign on that property there adjacent to 13th and Main to display some of their events on it. It would be sort of similar to the sign that's across the street on the Fox. And so they're just in the initial investigative stages of that, making sure they are.
Let's see, promoting literacy.
Yes,
That's a tough
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah.
So I figured the commission wouldn't have big concerns with that, but I promised the public library that I would mention it to you so that you are not surprised if things start happening at that corner. So
Well, just as long as they're careful with what's already there and not blocking things like that, and I'm sure they've already taken that into account, so.
I'm confident of that. So
Okay.
that's all I had for this evening.
Is this the library
you.
that's doing it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
County commission reports, Barb?
I don't have anything other than Oktoberfest. I think it was fairly quiet. And I have to say the first responders' food was amazing. Really good food, so thank you.
Having that for supper again tonight, actually.
Yeah, it was worth the trip down there trying to find a parking space. So,
Marcy?
Okay. I had a workforce committee for local area 1. In Great Bend, we discussed the job situation again and education for people. And I will say that they said last year that they have served 2,019 students in the 62 county area as far as getting some education, adult-wise, for jobs. I also had High Plains Mental Health meeting last week on Thursday, and they had a legislative forum that was very informative for the 20 Northwest Kansas counties that they serve. So,
Thank you. I was at Oktoberfest, gave the welcome from the county, and I guess that was my excitement for
And
the-
I have a picture to prove it.
She does.
I took a picture of him giving the county welcome at
Okay.
Oktoberfest. That
I
was-
really was there. That's all I have this evening. Anything else? No executive session? No?
All right, thank you to Carrie and the Health Department and Mary, who has already left. But
But thank you for your service.
Okay.
We will adjourn, Dawn, at 5:27.